Greetings, YouTube. It's funny how sometimes in life you have a thought and then it randomly comes into play unexpectedly later on in the week. You see, this weekend I was contemplating how weird it is that in my in game crystal, I guess you could call it store, I have 12,110 unopened crystals. Now, this is the stuff of legends. Shout out to Mr. Brian Grant, the king of hoarders. But Brian Grant probably has a lot of really good crystals in this. I don't, right? I hoard a few premiums that I open when I get to 100, but it's mainly the 4-hour Cavalier free crystals and some Alliance Quest crystals. I usually wait to 100 to open. But then it's Tier 4 class catalysts, and then more than anything, when you scroll down, you know what I see? You know what I'm about to scroll down to. Not the arena boosts, though. I've got a lot of those, too. I just get lazy and stop using them. How about 2,521 Tier 4 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystals? I'm sure a lot of people out there are like me in that regard. So, it brought me great joy to see that I could actually trade these things in the new Legends store. But let me warn you, some of my purchases, I'm already regretting. So, as somebody that, thanks to the wisdom and patience of my MCOC Yoda, I'm closing out the exploratory effort of Variant 5, hopefully, in the next few days. I do have some, or I had, I guess I should say, some revives and overflow. And I've traded some in, and I don't know if I should regret it or not. But you can see I have already maxed out this purchase of Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystals. Now, I traded in multiple Tier 4 Class Catalysts to make this happen, hoping to advance my 6-star Corvus a little bit closer to rank 3 with some Cosmic Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragments. Spoiler alert, no Cosmics. What else is new? But it is exciting. And I do think if you've got them, this is the best deal. And the cool thing about Tier 4 Class Catalyst Crystals, there's no limit on your inventory. It's one of those rare things that Kabam, please don't ever change this, actually lets you hoard way more than, say, 15 or 20 or even 30 of. You can see I own 66, and I'm about to own 86 because I'm deducting 1,000 of those live to tape on camera. Now, from that point on, it becomes a very strange gamble for Tier 4 Class Catalyst Crystals. This would be a lot better gamble if they took out what normally is a trade of 3 of one color for 1 of the other colors that aren't the one you traded in. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So you could easily trade in a skill Tier 4 Class Catalyst to get another skill catalyst. It's like Groundhog Day. And you can do that with any of the classes. So this makes perfect sense if you've got those in overflow and you know you're not going to rank anybody up with them and you don't want them to expire. But if you don't, I don't think this really makes any sense unless you're so close to getting that category in overflow that even though you haven't got there yet, you want to be safe and take down that by at least, 1 in order to fulfill the purchase limit of 1 and stockpile that Class Catalyst crystal. But other than that, this is just a really weird trade-in request that doesn't have much value at all on the surface. The A value, if you've got them, are what I had just explained. This is the best value of the whole thing. And then from there, this is rare. It certainly still has a high asking price. So if you can afford to trade in those Tier 4 Class Catalyst crystals, you're going to give yourself a high value of a chance at something. But like I just said, I got nothing from these. I also want to remind you that this is really rare for free-to-play players to get these because they're normally only reserved for cash unless you're clearing certain content. So keep that in mind, you free-to-play players who maybe have quite a few Tier 4 Class Catalyst hoarded. We've got some random things like this, right? Turn a single Tier 3 Class Catalyst crystal into a single Tier 4 Class Catalyst Fragment crystal. I don't think that's a good deal. I also am not really sure if I think this is a good deal. I mean, on paper, I guess it is because Tier 4 basics are a lot easier to get than Tier 4 Class Catalyst crystals, but I have way more Tier 4 Class Catalyst at this point than Tier 4 basic. So this used to be incredible. Like, this would be a no-brainer, but now I just have so many. You can see 86 now in my inventory that I'm guessing a lot of people are like me. They have far less basics than they do. And part of that problem is because of the inventory limit, which I need to do a separate video on sometime in the next couple weeks, talking about how it makes zero sense that we can hoard more Tier 2 Alpha in 2020 than Tier 1 Alpha. I do not understand that at all. Now, as far as the health potions, I don't really know if it's worth trading these in. I don't think it is. And even though I have traded in some revives, I still wonder if I'm an idiot for doing that. Because I had a few in my overflow, but of course I got that down to almost nothing in order to get this. Now, I will say the reason why I did this is because you cannot purchase level 3 revives in the revive store. You can only purchase up to level 2s. So when you go to the store and you go to potions, just to remind yourself, and you scroll down to those individual potions, you typically get level 1 revives from like normal milestones, and then level 2s you can purchase in the store. It's actually a decent value at 40 units. But level 3s, which give you 60%, not so much. So maybe I overvalue level 3 revives at this point, but I find that with the 4-hour class-based crystals that for the Cavalier version can get you level 1 and level 2 revives, I can stock up on those eventually, and then also with certain events like the revives and potions of the Halls of Fortune or healing, but can't get level 3s unless they're special offers, or sometimes you get level 3s when you're lucky with like compensation packages, but of course you can't count on a compensation package to actually happen. So, in conclusion, because I want this video to be under 10 minutes, I think there are some really weird asks in this that aren't good values. Unless you have something that's about to expire in your Tier 4 class overflow, I would not trade in these. I would also, if you have less Tier 4 class catalyst than Tier 4 basic, I'd do it. But otherwise, if you're like me and you've got 86 to 1, no, I don't need to see an 87th Tier 4 class catalyst and to trade one of my ultra rare Tier 4 basic in exchange. The potions, I don't think it's worth it unless, again, you have so many potions that are expiring and you're not going to use them that you might as well convert them. But if you don't, I wouldn't trade them in. And then if you've got some level 2s and you want to get some level 3s, I think that revive purchase is a good value. But otherwise, I wouldn't do it. And I'm still wondering myself if I made a poor decision, even trading in my level 1s for level 2s, given what I'm probably going to end up using in variant content. So also, the question will be, these team health potions, I don't think they're worth it unless you have a need for them to not flow over. But you can see I already own 19 of them. Keep in mind this level 3 team health potion when I go to the Black ISO market. This is the thing we get for free with gold 2 times a week. And I shouldn't say for free because technically it's for $10. But it's gold dependent, not unit dependent. So that is the outlier on that. So really there aren't that many great values in this. This is worth it just because they're so freaking rare, but don't expect the algorithm to be kind to you. And then this is the best value if you've got the fragment crystals. And then besides that, trying to get some rare level 3 revives out of it makes sense. But other than that, I say steer clear of the rest of it. It's a weird store, YouTube. It's a very weird store. I don't know how to feel about it, but it is what it is. Time to end the video.